contemplate your predicament?
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. I'm coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming. It's okay, Jonathan. I'll see you later.
Come on, you bastard! You get in there! It's my turn!
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the source of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask if you could...
Second floor.
And Mr. Hampton.
I gave him a sedative.
What kind?
Well, you accepted the job.
Apologies, I've only just...
Dr. Swansea is a
It's right to...
You'll get to know him soon enough.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
I've already heard about you, Doc.
That's quite a bluff.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind.
I'm not sure...
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm...
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since.
No need to explain, Doctor.
How is the
You want to hear the situation is all right?
Are you really?
And why not?
But you're not different.
You keep people alive your own...
So what do you do?
I've been an ambulance...
It sounds like...
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped...
You left?
Go there yourself if you want.
Since you're on the front.
It's a complete disaster.
I'd like...
Wise choice, Doc. Another night with the glorious battalion of Pembroke.
Stop following me.
Good evening, nurse.
Dr. Swansea has already told about you, sir.
Did he really? It's a...
All members of staff have already read about your new blood...
I see.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of...
How are...
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun.
An invisible enemy?
Sorry, Doctor.
Do you think this...
We are all volunteers here.
I'm not...
Brilliant professionals.
Most of them. Is there a problem?
It would be...
Nurse Brannigan, if...
No. I may disagree.
Is there...
Well, I have...
Why should his...
I guess it's fair to say is...
Goodbye. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan.
Well,
How long?
we're long enough to see that the epidemic...
I don't like your attitude, Nurse Hawkins. Pessimism can be as lethal as the epidemic in times like these.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How long?
We're long in...
I don't like... How would you describe...
It's serious.
You must get a hold of yourself, Nurse.
Sorry.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever.
I wish I could believe you.
How is the...
Well, not well. Milton the
Why is Milton...
Milton's not the kind of...
Why does Milton...
I don't know.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed.
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
I beg you.
What are you begging for?
You keep calling me...
Well, Dr. Reed.
Who are you?
Is that not enough for you?
I'm curious to know...
No, it's such a long time ago, I don't...
And why do you...
I don't need to believe anything.
Please.
I can hear my...
I see.
Never.
It's a mental illness.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad. It's only a cover.
Who are...
I cannot say for...
The staff here...
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking...
I see.
Thank you, mortal, but do...
I'll leave you. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
Goodbye. Good evening, sir.
Reed, yes,
Does my arrival...
Let us just say that I don't particularly share...
It seems...
I refuse to see this industrial...
We can at least agree on... I don't know what you've heard.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but you're...
And what exactly...
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sword.
Be careful what...
I only want you to...
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique said...
You see? That is exactly what I hate.
If you have a...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your...
I know we've never met before.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of...
Since your
Let's just say I'm...
carelessness,
We're here to save lives.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor.
Modern medical methods were
Thank you for your... Good evening, Doctor.
Dr. Reed. I am Thros...
What do you think of
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded.
with the influenza and all the...
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one...
So you believe it...
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud...
Please, could you...
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion.
What made you...
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired...
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn.
This epidemic may be the central...
I based my technique on my...
I'd rather not talk about it. For now,
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't.
you're not the first one to warn me.
What can you
Well, it has always been an honor to work with.
You seem quite optimistic.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test.
Questions remain about our...
True. Last summer,
Do you need help?
well, yes, maybe.
Do you want me to...
Oh no, Dr. Reed.
I see. Well... Goodbye. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What type of hospital?
You have been away too long, Doctor.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war.
However do you...
If combined correctly,
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke. And
perhaps I should look there.
it's the large building behind the hospital.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. That's...
Don't worry, sir. Everything's going to be fine. I'm just going to go and get...
It's locked, all right. Good evening, Mr. Hampton.
Dr. Reed?
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the fact.
You remained...
Thank you, Doctor.
How did you...
I had received alarming news.
You dared to enter this awful place.
I'm just a man trying to help.
Why?
William was an alcoholic.
Goodbye, Mr.
The pain. It's here again. If only I were young again. Just a dozen years or so.
I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
Good evening, madam.
It's my son.
I'm Dr.
I'm Beatrice Goswick.
What do you think of your...
I have had the uttermost reservations about...
Is there something in...
Some of the staff were not especially...
Tell me more about your arrival.
The ambulance driver was quite rude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the...
She charged...
Yes. And
I share your concern.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed.
What can you...
Not much to say.
Are you really that rich?
Yes. Thank you.
May I...
I'm a teacher by profession.
Goodbye.
I'm all right.
Good evening.
No,
Really?
I don't want...
I suppose...
Yes.
Could you at least...
more to...
Why did your mother...
My mother just wants the best.
Pembroke Hospital...
It's not me, you have to...
Is your mother...
That's tempting, Doctor.
How...
So painful.
I'm sure you realize it.
Not really.
I see.
Yes, maybe.
How...
So painful.
I'll let you...
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find some... I cannot enter. Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. It's locked. This key will surely grant me access to the basement. It's locked, all right. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood. Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in proper dosage. So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Going to reveal horrors. Props to me. Even the darkest thoughts in
A giant
your
morgue
heart.
disguised as a hospital.
balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they... do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. It's locked. It's locked, all right. Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doc.
I have some...
What?
I retrieved...
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl.
Not at all.
Good. Please, take this.
Goodbye, Milton. Good evening.
Good evening. Wise choice.
Too much energy for so little.
Good evening.
Unless you're...
I'm Dr. Reed.
You guessed right, Doc.
How is it
It's the pain, sir.
Who is...
Nobody since the...
You don't...
My face hurt.
Can I do it?
Nurses gave me a bunch of... Nurse...
How close are you
To wait for her next nibble is the...
Aren't you afraid?
She's quite harmless, I can assure you.
You do realize she...
In her madness.
So do you let her...
And why not?
She could decide...
And it's another...
Where will you stick?
I really...
No offense.
You were...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Damn. The pain. It's here again.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, sir.
Goodbye.
Good evening, Doctor.
Good evening.
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Daily routine.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening. So this is how it ends. Farewell, my life, you betrayed me, good.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
There is an absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
I'm not some doe-eyed student, Edgar. I understand we both have something to gain from this relationship.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet Lady of Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a vamp... The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate? He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the...
These poor
The world would be a better...
You make me blush.
Pardon my boldness, Your Lady.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only...
I'm a scientist.
I will gladly answer every question.
Dr. Swansea has...
These past insufferable...
Who would...
Even if it were the case, and I highly...
What are your expectations?
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital's...
If we're dealing with...
As immortal tradition...
Please continue.
My embarrassment in this
I'll take care of it.
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself.
I'll meet that...
My life, as others know, is...
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
So lucky to have Dr. Reed, you know. I met him in New York.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect. What? What?
There's no need for...
Preposterous.
Please, calm down.
How brave.
Harriet Jones.
Better than any.
I heard there have been...
Blackmail?
If I didn't know better...
God's honest truth, Doctor.
If...
God...
You seem to know more.
That's it. Blame the old...
I assure you, ma'am.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins...
Really? Well...
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear...
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them. Good evening.
Good evening.
Do you know if...
The people who work...
Have you seen a...
I've never...
Goodbye, nurse. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Do you need medical...
I'm fine.
What can you tell me?
Let me guess. You...
No matter how you...
Who says I don't care?
She could have been telling...
That old witch will end...
Goodbye, nurse.
Bred with no respect.
Is this supposed to be enough?
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I ought to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
He's locked the door behind him. I need to find another way to follow him. This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor. Are you injured?
Help me get up!
I'm Dr. Reed, and I...
Okay.
All right, mister.
Yes.
Good. Now,